What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk Dima. To come up music. So man, Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa have been together for 16 years. Now, what's really interesting is that, story time music. See, this is some ghetto shit, right? This is what ended up happening. They got together 16 years ago, but they were only married for 5 of those years. So they were doing one of those little ghetto like struggle relationships, right? And out of those, 16 years came 2 children. Lisa Bonet was married to Lenny Kravitz. But we know her, if we really think about her, she was Denise on The Cosby Show, right? That's how we all fell in love with her at that time. And at a young age, she got married to Lenny Kravitz, and didn't work out. Then she was dealing with Jason Momoa, and it didn't work out. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what I want to look at is, look at the age difference between Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet. He's a man that is 42 years old. She's a woman that is 54 years old, right? And I want to talk about this dynamic because we've been seeing this happen quite often as of late. Keisha Cole, she was with Nico Kale. She was almost like 100 years older than him. Erykah Badu has this, dating this guy. He's like 27 and she's 50. We talked about, Mary J. Blige. And, she was dating this receiver from the New York Giants. I already forgot his name, Shepard or whatever. You see this whole older lady, younger guy dynamic. And at first, I think that for the younger guy, it seems, well, she's not playing as many games as young girls or young women. She's treating me like a woman is supposed to treat a man. And she's having a lot of sex and stuff like that. Here's what happens though, and I've seen it happen in my own mother and father's relationship. My dad was 5 years younger than my mother. And let me tell you, for guys who can get into these relationships, when you get with a woman and you're a young man like he was, 26, she's 38, she's 39, she's not going to believe that you can lead her, okay? That's always going to be the problem, especially if she's more accomplished than you are, and especially in the same industry, especially being from a liberal place. She's born in San Francisco, California. That is always going to be a problem, right? And I want to talk about that because I put up a video yesterday about this lady that says that a lot of young men should consider dating an older woman, and I would take a big precaution onto that because, especially in the Black community, a lot of ladies, in my honest opinion, can consider you to be a man that you don't have enough experience. It's almost like going for a job, right? You're fresh out of college. You want to be an accountant. Well, what do you often hear when you're applying for these jobs? Well, you might have the potential, but you don't have enough experience, And a lot of ladies can look at a guy and like, oh, you're what I would like. You're physically attractive. But see, that attraction lasts only but so long because, again, what did Bobby Blue Bland sing? Further on up the road. In the first year, it could be okay. But 18 months, 24 months, 30 months in the trenches, when decisions need to be made and masculinity has not been learned, it's the beginning of the end. And a lot of young men are not ready for that. When you're dealing with a woman who has already sort of experienced life, has already sort of, doing things. And if she feels like she's the one that is leading you, mentoring you, and some women can take that role on for certain guys and then find out like, oh, you know what, later on, the kind of woman I am, I actually don't want a man that I'm leading. I actually would like to be the more of the opposite way around. I actually want to be with a man that I can respect. And it's all about being a man that a woman can respect. And when you have that age difference, especially when a woman is making more money than you, a woman has more, she is 12 years your senior, you're going to continue to run into that sort of problem. And it's always going to end in divorce. It's always going to end in the relationship Ending. Unless you're a man and you're just very, very mature. You know, when she met this guy, he was 25, 26. That's a very young man. You know, to become a young father at 26, dealing with a woman that's like 18 years older than he, 12 years older than you, it's a challenge. Most men are not up to that standard. And usually when you're dealing with somebody like that, you're learning as you go along. And I'm pretty sure his life could have been miserable, hellbound. But the good thing about him, seems to still have things together. The next lady he dates, I can guarantee you, she will not be 54. I can guarantee you that. The next lady he dates, she will be a woman in the 20s, a woman in the 30s. Because I think after going through this experience, he's like, hey, I have a woman that I can't tell anything to because she don't respect my opinion on anything. She don't respect my ideas on stuff. You see? But the next woman that he gets, he's going to be able to call his own shots. And that's the most important thing for a man. Men in certain aspects can ill afford to be mentored by women in masculinity. I think it's okay to be mentored in other aspects. But if you're in a relationship with a woman and a woman is trying to mentor you into being a better man, if a woman is investing in you like that, that woman is losing respect. Although she might love you, she might still sleep with you. A lot of guys need to understand that. You need to have yourself together completely before you really start to think about, hey, I want to deal with a woman. Or you need to be in a position where you're calling your own shots. You're financially stable. You're stable in your career. You're not just trying to make it. It's different if a woman is dealing with a man who's older and she hasn't really found herself, because women can be, that's more of a role that's sort of better for them, And also at the time, she was already a single mom. She was already divorced before. So I want to talk about that too. This is a woman that had a child. He didn't have any kids. A woman that was 12 years older than he was. She already had a kid. He didn't have a kid. I'm kind of wondering what his parents were thinking about this. Like, hey, listen, bro, I know she's a popular actress. And to be fair, her career never did much after the Cosby Show. Not really a whole lot. She just really didn't have a lot of, she did The Different World. That was pretty good. But outside of the Cosby stuff, she didn't do any much. Think about it. She did a few things outside of that, Why Bother Voting, New Eden. She did The Life on Mars. Like, she even stopped acting for like 8 years, and so she wasn't doing much herself, but she had a kid already. You didn't have to even deal with her with a young man that had as much promise as you did. But again, guys can get unequally yoked, which is what I feel happened here. But you know what? What do you guys think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains on an all-time high. I'm out.